Now, it shouldn't be shocking, given that it's a weird boat out in the middle of the sea. I already told you, it's prohibition, rum running, blah, blah, blah. That these guys were hauling more than Band-Aids and baby blankets.
No,
in fact,
don't say.
Probably none of either. The boat was in fact carrying some rather illicit cargo. That's right, a literal boatload of booze. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello.
Hello. If you're new to our creepy corner of the world, this is P&W Haunts and Homicides, where we chat about true crime, the paranormal, and all things creepy in the Pacific Northwest, which is what P&W stands for.
And we do a tarot reading at the end of every episode, just for a little deeper insight into whatever we're talking about. So make sure you stick around if you're into that.
All right. And I don't think we really have any new announcements. We have some things that you can look at in the show notes for upcoming events.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
we don't.
Yeah, unless we don't. Yep. All right. Moving right along. So today's episode, Cassie has already heard.
I have.
Yeah.
But you're all in luck because my memory is terrible. So it'll be just like it's the first time I'm hearing it.
Yeah, except this time you'll actually be able to interject a little bit more.
That's true.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, we actually talked about this story for a Patreon Live. And the Patreon still has access to the recording of the live stream. But now we're going to do it afresh here. And we're going to let Cassie, I don't know, get a word in edgewise maybe.
I know. Caitlin always does these things where we have a time limit. And she's like, oh, sorry, you can't talk.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this will be fun. We were pretty loose in the live show, except for it was like, okay, but I have to get through all of the content and we have this time limit.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it was really super casual, except for it was really intense and stressful.
It was fun though. We had a delicious cocktail that you get to see. So if you are part of the Patreon, check that out.
Yeah. And I do know that we had a couple of people that made the cocktail as well for while they were watching.
That's so cute.
I know. I love that for us. And for you and your tasty cocktails.
Congrats.
As indie podcasters, we love to show our support of other awesome shows. So stay tuned for the promo we've got to share with you this week.
Let's show them some love. You can find their info in our show notes.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
You guys, we're back.
And don't worry, we did get more wine.
Well, of course. All right. Today we venture to Whale Cove, which lies between Depot Bay and Newport. It's a somewhat remote area, particularly in the time period in which our story takes place. Which, Cassie, do you remember when our story takes place?
Like the 20s?
30s? Close
40s.
enough. Close enough. We'll go with
20s, 30s, or 40s? 50s?
The rocky reef at the entrance makes it particularly hazardous to navigate in even the most favorable weather conditions and with the benefit of daylight. But of course, during Prohibition, many of the so-called crimes that were committed did not often take place in broad daylight, but in our favorite seedy establishment of the day, the speakeasy.
I fucking love speakeasies, and I love that they still have them around.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even though it's legal, it's like, no, this is fun.
Yeah. Breaking the law.
Also, you said it was during Prohibition, and I'm like really embarrassed because I don't know when that is, and I feel like I should.
Well, there's a little dash of history in here.
Yeah.
So, it's okay.
It's like something I learned already in school. You've already told me about this, and I didn't retain the date. It's fine.
I would argue that's sort of like taking geometry, like how much of that are you going to use again?
Right. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Some of these illegal bars were also called a blind pig.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about pigs.
Yeah. We have a complicated history. Frequently, the illicit dealings of mobsters and bootleggers occurred in back rooms heavy with smoke and tinged with the scent of bathtub gin.
Bathtub gin.
I don't listen.
Smells like feet and juniper berries.
Oh, that's just not right. Or, as is true in this case, a remote, thinly populated coastal area.
Coastal area?
Yeah. We're at the beach.
I was wondering why we were talking about reefs.
Yeah. Personally, I think I'd take the salty ocean air and a clandestine chug or two of Canadian whiskey over, the smoky back room. But
yeah,
to each their own. Now, the gin in the featured cocktail from this particular live stream, it was a little bit more botanical than bathtub or beachy.
Yeah, it definitely didn't taste like feet.
Yeah, definitely did not. Nope. But either way, we did a little toast to the telling of a truly wild Prohibition tale. Everyone take a breath. Good.
Do I let it out?
Yeah, definitely continue to breathe. Just
okay.
Take a deep breath.
Well, you didn't specify.
Okay. Because this is a real buzzkill.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's straight from the Oregon Historical Society's website. The 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, it's a rough one, prohibiting the manufacture, transportation, and sale of intoxicating liquors was ratified by states in January 1919 and took place in January 1920.
Boo.
Exactly. Now, you weren't that far off.
I said the 20s.
The 20s and 30s.
Okay, so why did you made me feel like I was wrong?
I did not. I was just going to let you go.
Caitlin's gaslighting me. Everyone just witnessed.
We actually have an image of this U.S. Bureau of Prohibition sign, and it's held at the OHS Research Library's Oregon Journal collection. So, pretty cool. Probably going to put that in the post on the socials.
Nice.
Oregon History Project's account of the situation, and it is a situation. Zoomed in on the ground here in Oregon bears bitter fruit. I hate bitters.
Do you?
Yeah, not a fan. Prohibition came to Oregon in 1916, earlier than the rest of the United States.
The United
States. Well, I was going to say U.S.
Yeah.
It just sort of, I don't know, that happened.
I hate that it came here earlier. That's just like such a bummer.
It's deeply depressing.
And now we're like one of the first with legalized marijuana, though. So we made up for it.
Here, a member of the Women's Christian Temperance Union, we're going to shorten that up to WCTU if it pops up later in the case notes. Okay. I don't remember. I think it does, which is why I shortened it. She is posing in a picture with the Portland police in front of a cache of 108 cases of liquor waiting to be destroyed.
Man.
And you probably remember this picture. Cassie.
Of the original Karen.
Yeah. The police department used its basement as a warehouse for confiscated liquor. And they only destroyed as much as the public demanded, which was there a big public demand?
What does that mean? They kept some?
Mm-hmm. I'll explain.
Okay, I don't remember this part. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Vice Squad members sometimes delivered cases of liquor to City Hall, and most speakeasies paid corrupt police officers for protection and tip-offs before liquor raids.
Interesting.
So I guess that's what that means.
Yeah.
They only destroyed as much as the public demanded.
So like as much as the public knew about, but if there was any they didn't know about, they were like,
Or, as much of the public that actually wanted it destroyed that they knew about.
Right.
So it's kind of it's a real onion situation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Now, of course, it's tempting to boo this outwardly appearing Mrs. Scrooge type character. But what's the fun in doing so without at least briefly pausing to take the greater historical context into consideration? It's not fun. That's why I'm going to talk about it.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Why?
Why? If you're not very familiar with our nation's history as it relates to prohibition and the temperance movement, I have some notes. It's important to understand that the women were living in a time where they were without the right to vote, which is like major 2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
0 out of 10. Do not
Super
recommend.
booze for that.
Yeah. Super booze. Get it?
Yeah. Super booze.
They existed in the framework of a patriarchal society with limited options. Like, ew.
I know.
Ugh.
We're still trying to get out of it.
Right?
I can't even, yeah.
Yeah. Like, seriously, have you seen its Yelp rating?
Negative.
Yeah. I'd leave 0 stars if I could. Women were often placed in precarious positions, forcing them to turn to survival sex work or left vulnerable to spousal abuse in one form or another, which also don't love.
No.
Not great. Unless you were lucky enough to hit the husband jackpot with a progressive, free-thinking, emotionally well-rounded, and truly loving partner, it was very easy to end up in dire straits at the hands of someone with more than his fair share of booze on his breath.
Yeah, it makes sense why a lot of women didn't like it.
Yeah. All that said, one quick glance at this image, which it's going to make it on the socials for this one because it's, oof. I just couldn't help but think, my God, someone get this woman a stiff drink.
Oh, stiff something.
Although, to be fair, I don't know if any of the temperance movement, it sounds like they were basically just like, no booze, y'all. But I like to think that they were like, yeah, we're all about this prohibition stuff. But then like they had like bra flasks.
Yeah.
You know?
Only for the women.
Yeah. On February 8th of 1932, it's just after midnight. Prohibition wouldn't be repealed for roughly another year. So,
rough year.
Y'all, prohibition is a tween. And I think we all know that is like the height of hell raising.
Right.
Really. Was for me. During this time, there was an immense amount of money to be made bringing rum through Pacific Northwest coastal towns from up north in Canada.
Oh, Canada, you naughty little neighbor.
Canada. Oh, wait, I'm singing Oh, Canada to the tune of Blame Canada. I mean, the shoe fits, right?
Whoops.
In our story, it's bonded Canadian liquor making its way to Whale Cove. The term bottled in bond is a reference to one of the earliest examples of a consumer protection law. Now, if you really want to hear some creepy stories, dig into some independent research about the myriad ways that a number of types of liquor were frequently adulterated prior to the act. Definitely, specifically at the height of Prohibition, there was some nasty ass shit that was going into liquor.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember if we talked about it at length in the live, but
no, I couldn't do it. I was like, it'll be real embarrassing if I throw up on the live.
It's super dangerous. I know we mentioned that.
But I digress. Let's introduce the vessel doing the Lord's work out there on the dark sea waters of the old-timey P&W.
Ooh, I love it. Old-timey beach vibes. Let's go.
The Sea Island was a Canadian rum runner out of Vancouver, BC. So just to clarify, this is a boat. I know its name is the Sea Island. It's not an island. It's a boat.
It's a boat.
She a boat. As the crew aboard the Sea Island approached Whale Cove this particular evening in February, the engine was only firing on a singular cylinder, which, as remains true when we did the live stream, I got nothing.
How many cylinders should there be?
Yeah,
we
don't
don't
know. I am given to understand that is bad.
Obviously, there should be more than one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. That's basically sportsing talk to me. And I think everybody knows how we feel about that.
Yep.
I was perfectly willing to tell you about amendments to the Constitution because we all know that's a spicy topic. But I draw the line at digging in on the mechanics. So,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm with you. My eyes would have glazed over anyway if you tried to explain it. So,
in any case, the ship was very quickly dashed against the rocks.
Eeh.
I know. Oh no, who could have seen that coming?
Party foul.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's just kind of one of those things where you're like, wow, never saw that coming.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was dangerous work.
It was said that a member of the ship's crew may have believed that they had simply run low on fuel, which I don't know where he got that idea, but nothing good comes of it. Unfortunately, according to their account, he forgot about the cigarette he was smoking, right above the flammable fuel, ultimately causing a fire.
Oh, no.
So this is kind of one of those things like, oh shit, we ran out of gas. And he's like, you guys, it's cool. We got like a gas can in the hatch. And then he was like, also, I'm just going to light this cig and I'll be right back. Then we go back to partying but oops, because allegedly that's how the boat ended up on the beach, half burnt to a crisp.
Oh my gosh. I just feel like you know that that's flammable, right? Like it's not, this is not new.
Yeah. I'm not so sure that that's actually what happened. In my notes, it says, I, for one, see no plot holes whatsoever.
Right. It's just not that believable. So I can see why you don't believe that. Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, yeah, you're like within probably, hundreds of feet at most of your destination. And you're like, oh no, we don't have enough fuel. We're not going to make it. And you go to refill. And then also you're like, oh no, I'm a dum-dum who forgot how fire works. I'm going to light a cigarette. I don't see it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Do you think it was sabotage?
I think that they just burnt the boat to cover up the evidence that they were rum runners.
Oh, right. Because they crashed it and then burnt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, nothing to see here, guys. You heard that big crash noise and you saw the fire and thought something was up? No. Everything's fine here. Nothing to see. Yeah. Look over there. The crew that abandoned the ship and made for the shore, because some people did that, was made up by William Kerr, Charles Ryle, and Arthur Babcock. So they were like, okay, so this boat is in a bad way, so like deuces. Probably what I would do.
Did they swim to shore? They had to have, right?
No, I think they had like a smaller craft, like a little
lifeboat?
rowboat or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it shouldn't be shocking given that it's a weird boat out in the middle of the sea. I already told you it's prohibition, rum running, blah, blah, blah. that these guys were hauling more than Band-Aids and baby blankets.
No,
In
you
fact,
don't say.
Probably none of either. The boat was in fact carrying some rather illicit cargo. That's right. A literal boatload of booze.
Ooh.
Once ashore, they unloaded it. Wait for it. 400 cases of liquor.
Gosh.
But we're not done. There was also a total of 900 gallons of 190 proof tanker truck alcohol that had previously been stashed in 15-gallon cans aboard the craft. So, party at Whale Cove.
So how many cans is that?
I don't know. It's a lot.
400
I don't know. It's so
gallons
much.
in 15.
No, 400 cases and 900 gallons.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, if a train leaves Boston...
How many cases of booze does it have on it?
Listen, the point is that if you are there at Whale Cove, you're too drunk to do the math.
Right.
Okay. That's the takeaway. The men would later tell the authorities that the sea island just accidentally drifted into the cove.
Okay.
In this instance, just like law enforcement at the time, I'm inclined to believe that the cove was, of course, actually their true destination.
Right.
Number one, it seems the parties responsible for the trucks that were likely waiting on standby for a spirited handoff.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Right? Okay. They were not prepared to abide by the maritime code and risk going down, at least metaphorically, with the ship, because they'd taken off in order to avoid jail time. So the guys in the trucks were like, bye. Abandoned by the transport vehicles awaiting the shipment, the crew then buried their precious cargo on the sandy beach before them. So you're just a big old copycat. Wanting to bury little airplane bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
Historians and locals have speculated this was likely the usual system for offloading the booze, as it might avoid detection better to recover the booze in a less conspicuous manner than having a suspicious-looking truck head out to the beach randomly in the middle of the night. Like, that checks out.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking weird. Either way, they were having to work quickly to hide the loot, whether according to plan or not. So either way, they're like, holy shit, we got to hide this. It's like that scene in Super Troopers. These snozberries taste like snozberries. He's already pulled over. He can't pull over any farther.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Once completed, the 3 crewmen made off in a vehicle belonging to 2 of the local loading crew. So somebody stuck around.
Well, that's nice of them.
Apparently, these guys figured that law enforcement was likely to be suspicious of a bunch of dudes barreling through the cove on their boat in the middle of the night and then lighting it on fire as the trucks waiting up the road peeled out. They were not wrong.
It's just like such a mess of a situation.
Yeah. It's pretty shady. They needed to make it over 400 miles up north to the Canadian border before they could be home free following the incident.
Mm.
So
they were transporting booze from Canada and then they were fleeing back to Canada? Is that what?
yeah, because basically they're like, they're going to figure out that there's a bunch of booze on that beach. We got to get the fuck out of here. We don't want to be the guys that brought the booze to the beach.
So that wasn't the plan to go to Canada afterwards? It was like,
I mean, eventually they would have gone home, but
okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. They were having to hightail it.
Right.
The vehicle didn't make it very far on their journey before crashing in an area near Hebo, effectively disabling their getaway vehicle by overturning it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Yep. Somehow no one was injured.
They were all wearing their seatbelts, you guys. Seatbelts are important.
I'm pretty sure that cars at this point didn't even have seatbelts.
Don't tell them.
Okay. But again, this is something that is almost certain to draw some suspicion in a direction that would prove none too helpful in their effort to escape. Because again, like, hey man, what you guys doing over there? You overturn your vehicle? Yeah. Okay. You need some help? Oh no, you just okay. You're in a hurry.
Why are you in such a hurry over there?
Exactly.
Was the same guy driving the car as driving the boat?
I don't think so.
Because maybe don't let that guy drive
exactly,
again.
Yeah. He's definitely cut off, and also he's not driving. Someone take his keys.
Oh my God.
In any case, the locals made themselves scarce quickly so as to avoid detection or any association with the bootleg operation. So, I mean, they were like, okay, we're going to get you guys out of here. And then shit hits the fan yet again. And they're like, oh, yeah, you guys should definitely get out of here. I'm going to go home. The Canadians bought bus tickets to Portland for that next morning, though. Meanwhile, the shipwreck had been discovered by the Depot Bay locals by the time the men made it to Portland. So they've made it up to Portland, but everybody knows that there was some fuckery afoot.
Uh-oh.
Whale Cove quickly became something of a site of amateur excavation by would-be archaeologists. I like to think that they all just like watched Indiana Jones and were just like getting in the spirit, except that definitely wasn't out yet.
Time machines.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, what would be the other reason that you would just be like super happy to dig away at the beach, you know? Gold.
Booze.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know what like excuse that they came up with, but hopefully they had something better to
Digging
tell the
for
authorities. Yeah. Because I'm sure there's, law enforcement all over the beach and they're like, you guys trying to recover the contraband? No. Seashells.
I dig here every day.
Seashells by the seashore, Say it 5 times fast, huh?
What is it, Sally or Susie? Susie?
I think it's Sally. Sally sells
seashells
by the seashore. Anyway.
That was not fast.
No, it wasn't. And I barely did it the one time. Anywho, at this time, Trooper Johnson of the Oregon State Police was beginning to investigate the Vehicular crash. It's the little tiny car, the old-timey car with no seatbelts. He quickly realized that the plates had been switched, thereby blowing the cover of the Canadians who'd been seen in Hebo prior to boarding a bus to Portland. He was like, hey, I wonder if this weird car that like has the plates switched out and is like overturned and abandoned has anything to do with these bootleggers that also crashed their boat.
Probably not.
Unrelated, I would say. Listen, if this was a serial killer, they would definitely be thinking these are unrelated.
Right. Yeah.
That's just how that goes.
It does. You're right.
Right? Their descriptions were wired to Portland, where the men were arrested. The Lincoln County authorities were alerted, and in turn, the prohibition agencies on the state and federal level would make quick work of returning the booze-besotted beach back to normal. Dark times.
I like the boozy beach better.
I do too. In a bid to try their hand at recovering some of the liquor that likely remained hidden on the sandy beach, some locals were emboldened to slip into the scene after darkness had fallen. After the feds cleared out, it was all but certain that there were still a number of cases left buried in the area. So you best believe there's people out there. Definitely, it's like a search and rescue party.
Right, yeah.
Which, of course, made Whale Cove an unsurprisingly popular leisure spot. The reef that caused the calamity in the first place was henceforth known as Bootlegger Rock.
Is it still called that?
Yeah.
Nice.
The Canadians were taken to county jail in Toledo. About a month later, they made a daring escape from the jail because a boat crash, a fire, a car crash wasn't really quite enough, just didn't feel done, didn't feel complete.
You've got to get that extra in there,
Yeah. At 10 p.m. on Saturday, March 19th of 1932, the end of Prohibition was still several months away.
So close.
Yeah. 4 vehicles rolled into Toledo, Oregon, 1 sleek-looking sedan-type vehicle, 2 trucks, and a Buick coupe. This last vehicle was occupied by 2 men with machine guns. So,
Okay.
just
Casual.
yeah. In total, there were 9 men that had been sent to rescue the crew of the Sea Island and bring them home to Canada. As they arrived, they intended to take back more than just the members of their crew. They were also going to recover the booze that was stashed away in the jailhouse evidence room.
Oh, they're going for it.
Yeah, they are. Although, to be fair, you made it kind of one-stop shopping for them.
That's true. Yeah.
So there's that. At around 11 p.m., it was time to get the show on the road. One of the trucks pulled up next to the jail with an oxyacetylene torch that would have the men freed in a matter of minutes. So, doesn't feel like it's not a Supermax. The crew members thought it might be best to stay and face the music.
What?
I know, the most Canadian thing ever. But it didn't take much convincing before the entirety of the group was on the road again. They're like, maybe we should just stay,
No, let's go, though.
Yeah. but also, let's just go.
We came all this way.
Well, they got on the road again after loading as much of the confiscated booze into the 2 trucks, as they could manage, that is.
Right.
So, which was a lot.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was going to say, how much was it? Because
yeah, I don't have an exact figure on that, but they managed to get away scot-free, or so they thought.
Oh.
Law enforcement had been alerted by an anonymous tip that something was going to happen that evening in Toledo. Be more vague.
Something's going to happen.
It's like somebody's, speaking of tweens, somebody's Facebook post from middle school where you're like, I'm so unhappy, but don't ask me what this is about.
Yep. Oh, man.
As officers were heading into the small town to investigate, they happened to pass the actual trucks hauling away both the bootleggers and the booze.
Oh, those are big trucks. What are those? What are they doing there?
I don't know. When they arrived to find the prisoners escaped from the jail and the loot all missing from evidence, suddenly those trucks they'd passed didn't seem so benign. The officers made quick work of their pursuit. When police caught up to the bootleggers on Highway 18, as one of the vehicles was said to have been refueling in Grand Ronde, the jig was apparently up. Ugh. So they had to stop for gas.
Damn it. That damn gas is just getting in the way.
I guess. That or somebody's road munchies.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to say.
I need some jerky.
Yeah.
Some nuts.
Doritos.
Yeah.
A rock star. Yeah. It's just there's 9 dudes that came to rescue them and then the crew from that ship, and they've been eating prison food. Now you cram some Doritos and rock star down their throat. That is just going to be they're going to be hot boxing their own farts.
Yeah. Ew.
Anywho, not wanting to be swept up like their criminal counterparts in the other vehicles, the men in the sedan, which was the vehicle with the machine guns,
of course.
fled.
Of course.
So they left. Seriously, you guys? You're supposed to be the muscle.
They're like, yeah, but these are just for show.
Yeah. We were just hoping that would just scare people away, But in all seriousness, I'm glad there wasn't unnecessary bloodshed. Yeah, I think if machine guns are present, it's sort of everybody else brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah. It's not a good situation.
I brought a regular gun to a machine gun fight.
Oh, God.
Yikes. Obviously, the jail facilities in Lincoln County would no longer be fitting accommodations.
No, I would say not.
Not so much. So the bootleggers were instead held at the Benton County Jail in Corvallis, which at this point I'm like, no. I don't want them at my jail. No, thank you. They just like professionally fuck shit up.
They do.
Trials were held. Everyone pleaded guilty. All of the men were convicted on various liquor and prison break charges. Both federal and state offenses and sentences were meted out from a few months to a few years. So, nothing too hardcore.
Can you imagine that the one guy, I don't know why I picture it's like the one guy who wanted to stay. And he was like trying to convince everyone to stay. And he's like, I fucking told you guys we should have stayed.
Probably. The man who took the biggest hit was the supposed ringleader of the Oregon crew, Paul Rameli.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's kind of cool, I guess.
Ringleader Paul.
Yeah. He had been running liquor around the Portland area and was a well-known international motorcycle racer.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I mean, I guess probably pretty cool for the time or
he probably
whatever.
thinks he's cool.
Yeah. By the time the Canadians had served their relatively short state sentences for the most part, Prohibition had been, spoiler alert, repealed.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. So the federal charges were dropped.
That's good.
On December 5th of 1933, President FDR would see to the end of the wildly unpopular nationwide prohibition of alcohol. Yay!
Yay!
Oh, should we do a clink?
Yeah, let's do it.
Clink.
Thanks, FDR, buddy.
Oh, God, what a solid guy. Despite its long relationship with temperance lawmaking, with debatable levels of success, Oregonians proved to be ready to drink again.
No shit.
You know what I mean? It's just like riding a bicycle, but with beer. Voters passed a repeal initiative, and the state was back in the business of booze.
How much throwing up do you think there was that night? It's like the streets were running with throw up vomit.
Ew. Gross.
I mean, if you haven't drank, well, theoretically, it wasn't legal, but I'm sure people were still drinking.
Yeah, people were still drinking a ton. Well, and here's the thing is like, even though he repealed the nationwide prohibition of alcohol, it wasn't just like automatically all of the states got booze back again.
That's true. I like to think it was, though.
Yeah. And just like that night, immediately, like suddenly everybody's just getting cases of booze delivered to their house.
Party in the USA.
You're like, okay, that makes sense. I get why FDR, like people say he's like the best president.
Do they?
I don't, whatever. Who cares?
For this reason alone.
Yeah. Okay, so none of that happened. That's historically inaccurate. Whatever. Legislators created the Oregon Liquor Control Commission, now known by everyone who doesn't like to babble as the OLCC.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Just days after the repeal. So like we were ready.
Had to be.
Yeah. We were like, all right, somebody's got to take charge of this. The OLCC's primary guidelines, the state-run liquor stores, limited distribution licenses, rules governing food and alcohol were based on, wait for it, the Canadian system.
Oh, right. Yep. The illegal Canadians.
Your rule breaking.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
They're not illegal. What they're doing was illegal. Yeah. I didn't say that right. But so they took the laws from the people who were breaking into our country and bringing booze illegally. And that's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It feels right. It feels right.
Oh, boy. So should we do another tarot reading for this, even though we already did one in the live?
I suppose.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Tarot. I have put all of my bootlegger thoughts into there.
Boozy. Okay, here, hold on. I gotta just take another sip. Make sure this is...
You are, I am. Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cheers, creepy people.
Okay. I feel like
What? You do that every fucking time. Oh, okay. We got the High Priestess in reverse, which we literally just got.
For the second time today.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so you have to take a look at the little book because we've already just read this one.
Oh, that's true.
And it's even in the reverse. It's same orientation.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
That is really weird. But I can kind of see, I think, how it relates too. Just kind of remembering what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know what's
gosh.
interesting? I'll read the keywords, and then there is a second little extra excerpt that I didn't even see.
Oh.
The ADHD of it all, you know?
I thought you read too. I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't. Okay. So our keywords are intuition, emotions, feminine power, imagination, spirituality, and the inner life.
Okay, can I read my keywords just really quick?
Yes.
These ones also say secrets, mystery, hidden talents and knowledge, accessing the subconscious, stillness. Because they needed stillness on the water. Because I imagine that's kind of part of the reason they wrecked was maybe the water was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my gosh,
it
that's so
had
weird.
it verifiably, definitely.
Ooh.
Okay. This is really interesting because I feel like this would have really shed some light on our last conversation where we drew this card and I left it out. And now here we are.
Oh.
The extra excerpt is titled The Shadow. Psychologist Carl G. Jung thought the high priestess symbolized the shadow, the unknown, secret, dark, and mysterious part that lies within each of us.
How did you not read that in the last one?
I just didn't even see it because it was like down here. It's really small. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
That is so crazy though, because it talks about like they were doing stuff in the dark, and it's like the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay,
so I will start with the reversed interpretation. The high priestess reversed says your unrealized potential has yet to be discovered. Your secret, authentic self is locked away in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you're hesitant to look too deeply into yourself, or you may be hiding your true self from others because you fear their judgment or disapproval.
Like alcohol. The alcohol was hidden in the basement.
Literally in the basement.
Oh my gosh.
In some cases, she means you're too involved in your inner world and need to get outside of yourself. Which, okay, and I'm just going to throw this out there. I think some people are not big drinkers, but they will go, to a party or various places, and they're like the type of person that will nurse one drink all night because it allows them to relax enough to like kind of socialize a little bit. Not that I'm saying that's good or bad. That is just a fact.
Yeah.
That's just the thing that people do.
Interesting.
In a reading about money, the high priestess reversed can mean you're focused on money and the material world at the expense of your inner life.
Yeah.
Or your outer life. Your outer life outside of prison.
Right.
Conversely, she may warn that you've got your head in the clouds. Maybe you're ignoring a financial problem or expect someone to take care of you financially.
Yeah, or expect
someone to break you out of prison.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was going. Yeah.
If the reading is about your job, this card can mean your insecurities are holding you back. Or it may recommend retreating from the busyness of everyday life. Spend more time meditating or in spiritual practice. In some cases, it warns of treachery, secrets, or intrigue in your workplace. Something hidden may soon come to light. I don't think I have to explain that. Yeah. I don't think we need to point to why that insight is helpful in this
obvious.
case.
Yeah. Wow.
In a reading about love, perhaps you or your partner is trying to hide something that needs to be revealed.
bottles of booze. Yeah, because they were in like a partnership, I'm sure.
Yeah,
all of these
maybe.
people trying to do these shenanigans. The bootlegger shenanigans.
Hey, what's that place that you like with all the goofy shit on the walls?
Shenanigans.
Or you may refuse to engage fully in a relationship. Sometimes this card symbolizes loneliness or withdrawal from close personal relationships.
I mean, that can happen with booze too.
I mean, and it can also happen if you serve like anywhere between a few months to a few years in prison. Internationally.
Karen tried to tell you guys.
Yeah.
I don't remember her actual name, but should I read from the little book?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. The crab spider, which is what that is, a crab spider. Goldenrod crab spider, actually.
Okay.
I think they're beautiful. The crab spider scoffed at the showy web in the nearby sapling. Instead, she perched inside her flower, a delicate secret enfolded in the petals.
Oh.
And she waited.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, that's kind of like the delicate secret of the booze enfolded in the ship. And she waited until her coloration matched the flower. She waited until what she needed came to her in the stillness and relied on intuition. For the unsuspecting honeybee, drawn close by color and nectar and curiosity, the flower's hidden knowledge was revealed only in her last moment. As the spider's embrace enfolded around her, the drone realized... The drone? Is that the bee?
That's the bee,
okay.
Yeah.
The drone realized that secrets can be dangerous. Ah! Oh, that's so true.
Secrets can be dangerous, y'all.
Oh my gosh. That was cool. Do you think we could quickly find out what we drew for the live?
Maybe. The magician.
Oh, the magician. That's right. That makes sense.
You know, just our card as
Right.
a podcast. No big deal.
Well, we figured it out. Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. If you loved this story and wish you'd seen it live, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Then you can become a member of our Patreon, where there are videos of our tarot readings. You will also gain access to the recorded live of this story.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So cool.
So cool. And then also there's other cool stuff like ad-free episodes, stuff like that. Bonus content of
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a menagerie, if you will.
Patreon is a monthly subscription with a range of price points and benefits. Every member does get a personalized welcome card that right now comes with your very own mini tarot reading in it.
It does.
So, like, why wouldn't you want it? And you also get a shout out in an upcoming episode.
It's true.
This is a new thing we've added, and I think it's going to be really fun.
I know we're going to have to work through all of the existing names, so it might start getting a little cray.
It's going to be fun, though.
It's going to be awesome.
It's party up in here.
Awesome possum. However, if you can't support us monetarily, no worries. You can also pick one of the absolute best ways to support us that are super duper free 99.
Totally free.
Yes.
Tell everyone and anyone you can about us.
Leave us 5-star ratings and reviews
on any platform, anywhere you listen.
I mean, especially if you listen on Apple.
Yes, definitely. That's by far the biggest one you can leave a very helpful review on.
Yes.
If you have any true crime, paranormal, or witchy stories to submit for our listener for our listener appreciation episodes, Creepy People Chronicles.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Please email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. That's all spelled out. There's no special characters. Super duper easy peasy. Oh, I'm bringing it back.
Oh. Or you can also use our handy Google contact link in the episode description.
Do it. Click it.
Click it real good.
You are always welcome to remain anonymous if you'd like, or you can tell us your first name and we will shout you out, which is what people usually do. But sometimes, you're a little unsure about sharing a story.
Yeah. We're cool with that.
Yeah. Whatever you want. These are your episodes. It's your way.
Exactly. And remember as well, the stories don't actually have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you want to share.
They can be from anywhere you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anywhere that things be getting creepy.
Mm-hmm. We want to hear about it. Even if it's just in your own brain. If it's in your own head, let us know.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that. Okay, well, I'm going to be writing in. All right.
We're going to get so many emails now.
Follow us on all of the socials if you don't want to miss out on photos of our tarot readings, the beautiful altar setups. I mean, no pressure, but like if you could just give us 100 million likes on those, I do spend
so much time.
It's like that scene in Step Brothers. Supper's ready, y'all. Come get it. I've been slaving over this for hours.
She does put a lot of thought into them and making them different every time so that you guys have, a little feast for your eyes.
Yeah, for your eye holes. You can find links to us on literally all of the things on either our link tree or our super duper fancy pants website,
Check that out.
Is the same as all of the other things. It's P&W, Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out. No special characters, because I don't think they allow that.
Is it .com?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a .com.
.com.
Nothing weird.
I know. It would have been cool if we could have gotten .gov, but...
Nah. They don't just give that out to anyone. I actually don't know.
Yeah, we're not really sure what the rules are.
Have a creepy ass day. See you next Tuesday. Well, don't crash any boats or light any boats on fire or try to bootleg booze because that's very dangerous.
Yeah, it's got a real Murdoch vibe to it.
I wouldn't know.
And I'm sorry, like it's always going to be Murdoch. It's a hard CK, and I know that's not how it's said, but I don't care because they're garbage. Murdoch. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Old-timey, like, beach rave party vibes.
Oh my gosh. Let's do that. Let's throw an old-timey rave on the beach.
Oh my God. So it's like Great Gatsby, but like with bikinis and sand.
Yeah, and like neon lights. And
really mashing it up.
And DJs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's the theme of the next Patreon Live.
I had a genius idea just now. We hide little bottles of booze and Molly all over the beach.
Oh, that's a good time.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Goals. Life goals.
Hashtag goals.
Allegedly about the Molly. So.
Yeah. Obviously. Hashtag dare.
Fuck dare.